Riding on the wave of its recent popularity, Geely is set to enter another hot vehicle segment here in the Philippines, the subcompact sedan category. Their chosen contender, the oldest nameplate in Geely's lineup, the Geely Emgrand. In this video, we find out if the Geely Emgrand has what it takes to match the popularity of the Coolray and the Okavango, or will it stay mostly in the sidelines like the Geely Escara? Well, time for us to find out. Let's do this. Hello guys, I'm Reagan and welcome back to another car feature. If you're new to my channel, I want you to click that subscribe button for your regular dose of Filipino automotive content. If you're my subscriber already, well, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. But first, click that like button. Also, special thanks to Geely Fairview for providing the Geely Emgrand to do this car feature. If you are within the area and you need any Geely, head on down here and check them out. For any inquiries, you may also contact the person in my pinned comment below. Geely hopes to repeat its initial success with the Coolray and the Okavango as it penetrates into the subcompact sedan category. Now, while it had a relatively easy time doing so with the Coolray and the Okavango, well, the Geely Emgrand might face stiffer competition here. You see, price-wise, the Geely Emgrand will have to go head-to-head against the industry king, which is the Toyota Vios, or even the Toyota's newest darling, the Toyota Raize. You see, this top-spec Geely Emgrand Premium has a retail price of 908,000 Philippine pesos, putting it squarely in the middle of the price of the other subcompact sedan contenders in the segment. Now, with the Japanese subcompact sedans leveling up their features game lately, well, the Geely Emgrand Premium will have to give so much more in order to score an upset and stand out in the segment. The Geely Emgrand's first salvo is its size. Now, this is clearly longer and wider than all of the Japanese subcompact sedans in the category. In fact, the only other subcompact sedan that is a little bit larger than the Geely Emgrand is the GAC GA4, which is a fellow Chinese car maker. Now, Geely put these larger dimensions to good use because we've got a well-proportioned design and silhouette here, and this Emgrand has that Euro vibe going on for it, something that I've already come to expect from Geely vehicles. Now, I kind of hope to get the facelifted 2022 Geely Emgrand already, which was unveiled recently in China, but we still get the pre-facelift model here. Still guys, this Geely Emgrand Premium is a gorgeous vehicle, and it comes well equipped because it's got full LED lighting units from the LED headlights, LED DRLs, and we also have an aggressive cutout here on the front bumper, plus we also have Geely's signature front grille. Here on the side, the Geely Emgrand has a typical three-box sedan design, but we can still see the aggressive cutouts on the front bumper right there. Now, we also have power folding side mirrors with LED turn signals, and we also have a smart key fob that has a remote engine start function. There you go. That's pretty nifty, guys. Now, when you look at the wheels and tires of the Emgrand, we've got 17-inch alloy wheels here that are wrapped in 205/50 R17 Chaoyan tires. So, yeah, don't expect to get any form of driving performance from these tires. Now, if you want to get those Continentals that we saw in the Coolray, well, you might as well opt for the Coolray rather than the Emgrand. Now the good thing here though is behind those wheels, we still get four-wheel disc brakes, and for the suspension, we have a MacPherson setup in the front and a torsion beam at the back. Now for the ground clearance of the Emgrand, well, it's a healthy 151 millimeters, which is decent enough to clear most of the obstacles on Philippine roads. The taillights of the Geely Emgrand comes with a pretty neat party trick, and that is to give you a little dance every time you lock and unlock this car. Now, in order for it to do that, it needs to have this center LED light strip right here, and it also comes with a pair of LED taillights. Now, I have to say, guys, that this Geely Emgrand comes with the most gorgeous looking set of taillights in any of the subcompact sedans that I've reviewed in its category. Now, when you go down from the taillight assembly, guys, when you go down to the rear bumper here, it also comes with this sporty faux rear diffuser design right there to give it more of a sporty appeal. Now, if you'll notice, the Geely Emgrand's trunk lid doesn't come with a trunk lid button opener here. So in order for you to access your trunk, well, you'll need to have your smart key fob with you, and you need to stand, well, beside that trunk lid for 3 to 4 seconds, and that's when, well, the Geely Emgrand's trunk will automatically open. So you can do that, or you can just press the trunk lid button opener found right here on your smart key fob. So now that we have this thing open, well, you can see that we have 500 liters of cargo space here, which is good enough to, well, to carry a pair of medium-sized luggage plus some, some more smaller items beside it. Now, underneath the floorboard of your trunk, we have here a donut spare tire, and in case you're transporting larger or longer items, well, you'd be happy to know that the back seat of the Geely Emgrand can split fold 60-40, thereby giving you some pretty flexible cargo carrying capabilities. One of the standout features of the Geely Coolray is its engine and transmission combo, which unfortunately we don't get that here in the Geely Emgrand. Instead, what we have here is a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated gasoline motor that pumps out 102 horsepower and 142 Newton meters of torque. Now, all that power is sent to the front wheels via a CVT, well, with 8 simulated gears. Now, it's quite clear that this Geely Emgrand is not built for speed. That's for sure. Now, the thing is, guys, with the prices of fuel nowadays, well, I think it makes better sense to have a fuel-sipping engine here rather than something that's built more for speed and power. Now, I'll have to do a fuel economy run with the Geely Emgrand in order to fully assess its fuel efficiency, something that I can't do now in this video. Well, at least, not yet. One of the issues of the earlier Emgrands, which thankfully we didn't get here in the Philippines, are the quality of the seats. You see, it used to have like thinner seats that would break down easily, and thankfully, Geely has finally addressed that issue with the current Emgrand that we have here now. Now, these seats have a 25% more, thicker memory foam, and when you look at the design of these seats, I mean, my goodness, guys, the design and the color combination of these seats, by itself, ulam na in Tagalog. I mean, we get an off-white, leather-wrapped, perforated seats here that also has these blue suede-like trimmings on the sides, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous, guys. Now, the driver's seat gets power adjustment, but the front passenger has to make do with manual adjustment, which is not really a big issue. Now, when you look up, guys, we also have here a regular size sunroof, which is something that I've already come to expect from these Geely offerings. Now, when you take your attention to the steering wheel, well, we do get a leather-wrapped steering wheel here, and it also comes with a flat bottom, which is also something I'd expect already from a Geely vehicle. And the wheel itself adjusts for tilt, and it also telescopes, which is, it's a pretty good news, guys. Now, the steering wheel itself doesn't get buttons for cruise control because this Geely Emgrand Premium only comes with a speed limiter, and it also comes with the following safety bits that you are now seeing on your screen. Now, when you turn your attention to the instrument gauge cluster of this thing, well, as expected from any Geely offering, we get here a fully digital instrument gauge cluster, and the design and the layout is on the simpler side. It's clean, it's simple, and it's not as embellished as the gauge clusters found in the Coolray or the Okavango or the Azkara. Now, when you turn your attention to the infotainment screen, well, we do have the same floating style touchscreen infotainment display here that's found in the Coolray or in the Okavango, but yeah, this doesn't use the entire screen. You see, the actual touchscreen here is an 8-inch touchscreen display. And, well, guys, we don't get Apple CarPlay and we don't get Android Auto as well, which is, yeah, something to be expected already because, well, even the Coolray, the Azkara, and the Okavango still don't get those third-party apps. Now, if you put this thing on reverse, we get another bit of a bummer here because we don't get in the Emgrand the 4K style 360-degree view camera with a 3D mode that can be found in the other Geely offerings. Rather, we just have here a regular reverse camera. Yeah, and the quality itself is on the decent side. But yeah, nowhere near what I'd expect from a Geely vehicle. Now, when you go down from the infotainment system, we have here a nice and minimalist row of buttons for your manual climate control setup. And right beside those buttons, we have here a button for your engine start-stop button, which is kind of, yeah, it kind of confuses me at times because I thought that this thing is part of the climate control buttons. Yeah, so yeah, I'm normally just used to seeing a circular engine start-stop button here, but nope, we get something that's more uniquely shaped in this Geely Emgrand. Now, when you go down further, we have a couple of shelves here for your knickknacks and your cell phones and stuff. And right under the shifter, we have here an electronic parking brake with an auto hold button. So that's also pretty good. We also have a couple of cup holders here, which I will subject to my Clean Canteen test. So if you guys are wondering, this is a 600 ml Clean Canteen. And yep, so it fits my Clean Canteen, but it doesn't go all the way in. So I'll give this a marginal pass. So it passes my Clean Canteen test, but only marginally. Now guys, when you look at the entire cabin layout and the cabin materials that they use here in the Geely Emgrand Premium, well, I can say that this is a plush cabin. I mean, we get hints of premium materials here from this nicely stitched blue leather top dashboard here. That kind of reminds me of the same dashboard found in, let's say, the Mazda CX-30, which, yeah, costs more than twice as much as this vehicle right here. And we have this nicely designed middle dashboard area that integrates the AC vents quite well and yeah, gives it that really premium looking surface. Now, when it comes to the fit and finish of this Emgrand, well, it's really tight. It looks really good, and it's already something that I've come to expect from a vehicle that's coming from Geely. Now guys, considering that this Geely Emgrand is 900,000 pesos and change, I mean, my goodness, this cabin by itself is already its biggest ace when it comes to its premiumness. I mean, my goodness, guys. This is a cabin that I would expect to see from vehicles that would cost twice as much as this Geely Emgrand. The larger size and dimensions of the Geely Emgrand can easily be felt here in the back seat. I'm 5'6", guys, and this is my driving position here, and I've got a good like 6 inches of knee room and around 4 inches of headroom. You see, 3 average adults can easily fit here on the back seat and they will be quite comfortable. Now, speaking of comfort, guys, the Geely Emgrand Premium is also well equipped when it comes to the amenities. In fact, it has even more amenities than the Geely Coolray. You see, we have a couple of AC vents here. We also have a solo USB charge port, and we even have a small cubby beside that USB charge port where you can park your smartphone. Well, the thing is, we don't really get a center armrest here, so there's that. But overall, this back seat is pretty well spec'd. The Geely Emgrand presents another viable option in the subcompact sedan category. It combines the space of a compact sedan plus just the right amount of features to make your daily drive convenient. But is it enough to score an upset in the subcompact sedan category? Well, as it is, all I can tell you is, only time will tell. You see, had Geely equipped the Geely Emgrand with the engine and transmission combo found in the Geely Coolray, well, I can immediately tell you right here in this video that Geely would have had a clear winner in the Geely Emgrand. But as it stands, well, it's competing without any major advantage versus its competitors, so yeah, as I said, only time will tell. Anyway guys, thanks for watching.